Good morning and welcome to day 84 of our 365 days of Bible studies. We are continuing to look at the time of the invasion and settlement of Canaan, and today we are looking at the story of how Gideon defeated the Midianites. This is from the book of Judges, and it is certain verses from chapter 7 of the book of Judges, verses 1 to 21. I'll turn you around so you can see the text. Yahweh said to Gideon, "You have far too many troops to defeat the Midianites, and they might think they've won by themselves and not give me the credit. So say to them, if any of you is afraid, go home and leave the rest of us here." 2/3 of them left, 1/3 stayed, amounting to about 10,000. Then Yahweh told Gideon, "You've still got too many. Take them down to the river to drink, and I'll judge between them there." So he took them, and Yahweh said, "Separate those who lap water from their hands like a dog, from those who kneel and put their faces in the water." Yahweh then said, "I will rescue you, and you will defeat Midian with just the 300 who lapped the water. Send the rest home." So Gideon had 300 soldiers, and all the supplies, and the trumpets, and the Midianite camp was there in the valley below. Just before midnight, he divided his 300 into 3 groups, and gave each of the soldiers a trumpet and a jar with a lighted torch in it. He said, "When we come to the edge of their camp, do what I do. When I and my group blow our trumpets, blow yours too, and shout out, 'This is for Yahweh and for Gideon.'" Then they smashed their jars and held their torches as they shouted. Everyone held his place around the perimeter, and the whole enemy army ran about in panic. Gideon's troops blew their trumpets, and Yahweh made the enemy troops attack each other with their swords. Now, I don't want to make a direct comparison between these ripping yarns from classical Israelite times and our national tales about King Arthur and his knights or Robin Hood and his merry men, but we know what a warm feeling it gives us to own stories like these as pointers to aspects of our national character. If we care to spend any time thinking about it, we realise that we know just what kinds of questions to ask of such stories. For the sake of brevity, I missed out a few verses from the middle about the espionage carried out by night when God sent Gideon and Purah to listen to the talk in the enemy tents, and how Purah overheard the content of a dream being interpreted as an omen of impending victory for the Israelites and defeat for the Midianite army. You can see that in verses 9 to 15, which I didn't read. As usual, the people who recorded the tales and those who edited them later as scripture were taking some pains to make a point. And although there's an intelligent and godly human hero, his astuteness is totally due to his trust in God. God remains a God who is intimately involved in human lives. Stories like these remind us that we rely on God for our very existence, and all that we can do, inevitably, we do with God's help. Now, to end this part of our journey through the Israelite sagas, we have 3 days to go. And on the next 3 days, we have 2 sad tales, and then a third in the night, a turning point in the history of Israel. See you tomorrow.